Here's a book that I have in German. I'm not going to scan an entire book using the pen, but let's say I'm fairly good at reading German, but there's some words I don't understand. I'll do an entire sentence here. What I'm going to do is go into the pen, I'm going to go into a text conversion, I'm going to go into the settings, and I'm going to choose the language of choice. So in my case, I'll scroll down a little bit here, and this is German. So I'm going from German, and I want to go to Canadian English. That sounds good to me. And now what I'll be able to do is go in and I'll scan the sentences or the words that I'm having problems reading. And we'll just go and do a few here. It's going to then go in, it's going to recognize that. So it does that in German, it reads it back to me. I can then click on translation.
Julian only breathed a sigh of relief when Velas and the last memory of the lake had disappeared. Behind wide rock plains.
So you can see there, it did a great job of recognizing the German text and then translating that into English. The pen is also capable of translating more complex languages like Chinese or Arabic, or in this case, Japanese. So I'm going to go in and open to a random page here. This is a Harry Potter book that I got from the library. I'm going to go into the text translation. I'm going to go into the settings. Now again here, my source is going to be Japanese. So I'll find Japanese. I want to transfer that to Canadian English. Now in this case here, I'm going to go vertical. So I'm going to scan, and I'll just start here, and we'll scan some text vertically. It'll recognize the language, and then I'll go into translation.
Bagman keeps his voice low. I feel sorry for everything. You were dragged into this game.
Isn't that perfect? Absolutely fantastic if there's some words that I don't understand. Again, it would be if I was learning Japanese and I was reading and I just had certain words that I didn't understand, then I could use the pen to read a sentence back to me. You wouldn't want to read the entire book that way, but you can definitely pick up on different translations. What a great tool for helping you learn. The pen also has a fantastic feature for anybody who's struggling with reading, maybe if someone has dyslexia or they have reading challenges, and that's the text reader. The text reader will allow the pen to scan and then read a sentence or a word out loud. I can change the speed at which it reads. I can go in and I can save it. I'll have a look at this. So let's go ahead and we'll scan this sentence and have the pen read it out to me. So now I can follow along.
Transform the learning experience.
I can go ahead and index that and then save it. And now I'll have the words here.
Transform the learning experience.
So you can see that I'm really in a great position to use this as a learning tool, especially if I'm having challenges. And in fact, if you check in the description below, you can get a discount on the pen as well. I forgot to mention that. That's a handy thing if you need to get this pen. So if we go into the dictionary, we also have a dictionary with the pen, a Collins English Dictionary or a Chinese English Dictionary. I'll choose the Collins English Dictionary. And then what I can do here is, let's say I want to scan a word. So I'll just choose, I can actually grab an entire sentence, but it'll put the entire sentence that I scanned here.
Transform.
And then I can choose individual words.
Experience. Learning.
So I can choose each of the words, and then it gives me an entire definition of what it is that I have here. And once again, I can go to the top.
Learning.
There we go. So you also get a nice dictionary in there, and you can favorite that as well. It's a great pen that has all of these features. If it was a library book, I certainly wouldn't be able to highlight inside the book. The point, though, is that with the pen, what I'm going to be able to do is take a text excerpt. And then what I can do is click the plus button here. And now anything that I scan with the pen will be put into a digital text note. This means that I can now use all of these notes in order to keep track of different ideas that I had encountered in the book that I want to revisit. So I can go in and I can take different notes here. Notice that those notes do not have to be contiguous. They could be different parts here. Everything gets captured in the pen here. And now I can transfer that note to my digital note-taking system using a USB cable. Now, of course, I could scan the entire book and make it a digital book, but if I just want to take notes of certain passages or certain highlights and such, this pen is going to allow me to do that. And for that reason, this becomes one of my most valuable tools that I can use as a digital note-taking tool, as a digital highlighter. I can capture information that I need when I'm studying and doing research. That feature alone makes this pen valuable to me, and that's one of the reasons why I would get a pen like this, and I will always have this pen with me.